is equals to show div. If the show div is true, then only high will be printed. In other cases, it will not be. We discussed if else case where I just wrote ng template, where the templates can be printed, sir, here. Okay. Now here I check one logic. If the logic is true, if the element if or the expression is true, it will go to the ng template. In the else cases, it will go to the ng template login message and it will print it here. Ng templates will not be shown on the screen until or unless they are rendered by a condition. Okay. Now the same way, sir, we have discussed something called ng switch. We have discussed something called ng switch, sir. Now, ng switch also brings some concept switch cases, okay, that structures in template files. That means here, switch cases, how you will write it here, you will take one ng switch as a property and you will take one value from the component and you will check the matching switch case. Okay, if the switching case is 3, then it will print my value is 3. If the switch case is 4, it will print my value 4. If the switch case is not matched with 3 or 4, in that case, it will go to the default where it will print this is the default, sir. Sir, can I put a one switch case inside and another switch case? Can I put one if inside and another if? Yes, you can put that. Those are called nested statements. What are they? Nested statements. Nested statements means you will put one statement inside another statement. Okay, so now we also discussed a nested switch where I just put one switch case inside and another switcher. These examples we have already discussed and they are mentioned in our code base also in the Google Drive also it's there. I just used one enum to get the constant values and I used a days concept here. Okay. Now, next one we discussed ng for. What this ng for will do? Ng for renders the template of each item in the screen. That means when you have items, see the items is just an array. Now, items is an array. Now, items can be an array, sir, can be an object, sir, can be a JSON value of array of objects, sir. Now, everything can be rendered onto the screen. Everything can be online. Is my voice is okay? Online is my voice is okay, ma? For some people, it's not clear, I think. Okay, for some people, it's okay. So please check it for the people who is not clear. Okay. So items are some kind of arrays, sir, or you can make it array of items, array of JSON. Now we will do some kind of array of JSON logic. Okay. Like that, you will print it. And you can take its index values by using index. You can take it odd values, only odd elements if you want. You can take it using odd. You can make it even values, will make it only even elements. You can print them. Okay. The that is a basic for loop we have seen in ng for, and you can also iterate objects, we will see it, and we can also do nested for. Okay, we can also do something called nested for, sir. Okay, now let's discuss here. Let's go to the code, sir. So I am taking another new one which is 25 one, where in that today we will write our code. Okay, we will start with ng for. Okay, now we will go to the code and let me open some code, sir. Now this is the code we did yesterday. Let me close all. Okay. Now I am just creating another one. Okay, sir, I am in workspace, sir. When you are in workspace, you can use ng generate. If you are not in workspace, you have to go with ng new. Okay, that we discussed in the initial classes, in the Angular basics notes which I provided. Also, it is there. Please check it. Okay, now how do you do that, sir? Again, first I'm going into CD Angular. See, whatever the folder I'm going on, which folder I'm going on, everyone focus my Angular. Now, if you go to my folder Angular, see this folder Angular, inside this Angular folder, package.json is there, tsconfig is there, angular.json is there. This is what a project needs. So everything is there, and the same package.json, same package.json, package.json or angular.json, these are shared. These are shared for every project you created. Okay, for all these projects, if you see, for all these projects only one package is. So this is called workspace. Now how do you create one project in the workspace? You will write it here, ng generate application. So it will create an application. Whenever I'm creating workspace, I made application false. So because of that, I won't get any application. But now whenever I'm creating application, I will make it application and some name. Let me make it something called structure for structure for. And whenever I'm making it, I'm making standalone equals to false. Standalone equals to false. So standalone equals to false means it will make our standalone code as a false, sir. Okay, so that means you will get it modules. If you put mod, if you if you see every component dependent on the modules, and it will tell to the modules. Okay, it will tell to modules that this component existed and kind of things. If you put, if you did not put this standalone equals to false, by default standalone will be true, and by Angular 17th versions, what will become, standalone components will be created. That means modules will not be there. Components can be independent. That we don't want. Okay, the schematic workflow failed. Every time I'm getting this error while installing packages, but my project is getting created. Something we will check it in the code. Okay, maybe it's because of PowerShell. Okay, but actually my PowerShell, I have permissions. Okay, but still you guys try it in a template. You guys try it in CMD prompt. CD Angular TD structure for. Okay, CD Angular, CD, yes, CD Angular is enough. You don't need clear, because structure for is inside projects, not the Angular. Okay, now let me write it here. Now I will serve it, sir. How do you serve it, sir? Ng serve structure. I'm directly serving it. Structure for. So when you serve it, sir, automatically it will open, sir. Okay. Okay. It won't open automatically. You have to open it, sir. If you want it to automatically open, you have to put another flag dash O. If you put dash O, automatically it will open now. 100%. This is the basic application, sir. Now, where this application will be there? Inside app, inside the app, inside the app HTML, it will be there. So I will go here and I'm just writing it. Div H1 main component component. Now I will go here. I'm just deleting routing module. I'm just deleting this spec.ts, because I'm not using them. I'm deleting them. In future we may use it. Okay. See now, what are the main things I'm using it? What are the main things I'm using? Module is there. Okay. Now in this module, okay, app routing module, this is what I'm deleting it because I deleted there. Now perfect. Now see, in the main module, one component is there. What is that? App component. That is nice. Now go here. In the app component here, you have this is a TS file, which is component file. This is HTML file, template file, and this is CSS. Anyway, we won't use much of the CSS. Now mainly two things: component file and the template file. Now let's go here, sir. Let's write it a basic for. I will write one basic for sir here. Um, div div in the div I will write it here ng for okay equals to let I of I am directly giving array. See, let I of 2 5 8 7 6 4. Okay, and semicolon, let in let in equals to index. In will be index. By default you will have index value. You don't need to say what is it mean by indexer or how do it know. It will know automatically. You don't need to worry about it. Okay, now if I write it here in this code, if I write it here I'm just writing some basic code. Element is I. That means first time I value will be 2, and index is and index is index is in. Don't get confused. That's our whenever we take it from the component only, we will put string interpolation. No, basically every dynamic data you will put it this only. Okay, now here 2587 you may directly put it in template, but Angular will understand this is from component only. Angular will understand in the same way as how we did it the yesterday's code. If I go here now, why it did not print anything? Did it print any error? Now see, can't bind ng for off since it is a known property of div. If div is Angular ng for off input, somewhere it got break. Ng for f is capital, sir. Ng for f is capital, sir. Very good. See, now it printed nicely. Now same thing, sir. What if I want some dynamic data? So simple. Instead of writing it here, this particular one, I will take this X and I will go here and I will write it here one array. Let's go with items equals to an array, and I will come here and here I will write it let I of items. Then items will be taken from there and it will print the same thing actually. There is no difference. Okay. So this is what we discussed and also yesterday. So I hope you all remembered this. ng4 ng4 is is used to iterate the dynamic iterate the DOM elements dynamically. So example is this code. Okay, this is HTML code in the component file in component. dot ts file, you will write it some kind of items equals to some array, equals to array of 5 comma 6 comma 8 comma 9. I'm giving some simple one. Okay, now this is a basic thing, sir, whatever we discussed here. Okay, now let's make it iterating through an object. Okay, let's go with some objects are here. Let's go here and let me print some object here. Okay, can I put any object value, sir? Obviously you can put an object value. You can put some big object here. uh, obj name Raj. Sorry, object goes with key value pair. Age 25, salary. That's it. Now this object value I wanted to print here. Okay, now how do you print it, sir? So simple. You can write it here, div. Okay, if you know basic JavaScript, you will understand it actually. You will write it here, div asterisk ng for. Okay, in the here ng for what what you can write it. You can write it something called let key. I'm printing with a key, let key of object dot keys. If you remember, there is a method for object keys and all the things. Okay, object dot keys of obj, which is my object. Okay, yeah, no, I can write it here key, can write it here obj dot obj of key. Obj is there, why object is not taking? Property object does not exist on tab component, error component. Okay, it is not taking it directly this object. How can you take it? Mm, okay, we'll take it like this. Just a minute. O is capital O only, it should be. Then only it will take it object. Okay, let's write it directly obj. Let key of obj. Okay, key value pair of obj or key. Key pair. Okay, key value. You can have a pipe key value. going with key value. Key value pair dot key. Yeah, perfect. Then key value pair dot value. Sir, why did you put this or symbol, sir? These are called pipes. We will discuss it pipes actually. There is one thing called pipes which are actually easy concept. If I put it key value, automatically it will convert it into the key value, sir. Okay, you will get it easily, those things. Now here, if I write it here, see, age of 25, name Raj, and salary 25 25 something, it printed. So what I'm taking is I took one variable. Here you can take any variable name x or y or something. In that object, whatever I'm taking it, that I'm converted into the key value pairs. And after I converted, I write it here, then it will get an object of key, it will get an object of value, and I just made it key and values. Okay, so that thing can be done. Then then next, what more you can do, you can iterate over an object, you can print index. That's what we did it in the first thing. Okay, you can do odd, even, those things also you can print. Okay, one interesting, one important topic is there in for which is called track by. This is important. Actually, till Angular 16, it is optional track by. This is one of the feature and it is optional, but still after that they made it compulsory, the track by one. Okay. I'm sorry. Iterating an object. So you can iterate an object also, sir, like this. HTML file where this all, and TS file. Sir, you can check the yesterday's notes also, sir, similarly. This all. Okay, after this. Now, interesting and important point called track by. What is this track by, sir? Track by clause. Okay, then let's see track by clause. This track by clause, what they will do, it, we will put something called track by, same how we put index or odd or even, same thing, but it is an optional one. But what it will do is so powerful. From the 17th version they made it compulsory. Okay, and it is used to improve the performance performance by providing, okay, hint to Angular. So it will tell to the Angular application, okay, on how to track this particular applications, how to track them, how to track changes in the list. Okay, it helps to associate each item with unique value. Same like how you are indexes. Usually we will go with index only track by. Sir, what is this means? It means so simple, ma. Now I think by now you understood the basic one. See, if you see here, see the code here. In the code, if you go here, if you see here, div div element 2, div element 5, div element 8, div element 7, div element 6, like this each one a div created. But did I created that many divs? No. In one div I put for loop, so either all elements should come in one div, right? That is what we expected, but it is not. It will make that div repeat. Sir, wherever you write ng for, this is very important point in the content projection, it will come again and again. If you write ng for, this whole div will be repeated for n times. You people think it like only this element will be repeated again and again and again. No, whole div will be again and again repeated. Okay. Okay, so now what if I want some parent div, sir, for this? Now what if I want parent div? You will put this whole thing inside one div. Inside one div you will give this for loop. Then what will happen? Now how many items are there? That many items are created inside this main div. Okay, inside this div main. Okay, now here the main point is, what if I go to the here? Okay, 10 items printed, 10 items or 6 7 items printed. Now again I went and changed the dom. Now here I just changed the elements. Now you know what will happen? It will again start from first. Again it will make again it will make this whole thing zero. Again it will make the first one, second one, third one, fourth, second, fourth one, fifth one. But point is, sir, already these elements already filled, right? Already these elements are, some elements are already there. Whatever the newly added elements only should be rendered on the screen. If it is starting from the first, it may increase my time. See, if you see, seconds also time matters. 0.14 seconds. Okay, now if I increase it, 5, 6, 8. Okay, again some time is happening for me. Okay, only 2 3 elements for this iterator. So this is an iterator, obviously this is for loop iterator. So it will again iterate from the whole elements. What it will think? It will think, okay, some elements are there. Oh, sorry, it will think only, okay, some element is there, so let's go here and let's check it each and everything. Okay, but I don't want that. I want something to track these applications, and while it is tracking it, if only new changes happen only it should do. If the changes did not happen to the old ones, then it should not do for the old ones anything. Okay, that is why we will use something called track by, sir. Okay, we will give track by some function. We will give some track by function. Okay, and if based on the track by function, it will work for that. Now how do you do that, sir? Here I can write it here, track by. See, ng for track by is there. So how you will write? You will just write directly track by, and you will give some value here, something function fun. Okay, you should write one function here. I'm writing one method for fun here, and based on fun, whatever it returns, whatever the fun returns, and based on whatever the fun returns, it will return, sir. Okay, if the fun returns any item value, and based on the item value what it is returning, it will update the things. Okay, in real time scenarios, what you will do, in real time scenarios, you will return here, you will return here the item id. Okay, something id will be there. Okay, if you are iterating through an object or some object of items, then you can return here item of values. Okay, if I go with index, or if I go with some kind of values like that, then those things will be returned, sir, and whatever it returns, based on that value it will track the application. Okay, now I'm not returning anything because it's an optional one, it will not care for it. Okay, but whenever you are having any bigger values, then you will take some simple track by function, sir, and that track by function you will give the values. Is it clear, ma? Is it clear, ma? Now, but actually in from 17th version they made the ng for by default the track by application. Okay. Now one more time. Okay, one more time. Let me create one simple array here. Now here I'm just writing it. If you go for real-time scenarios, you will get some JSON data. Okay. Now the JSON data will be like this. I'm going with some basic JSON data. Here I'm just deleting this items. Items are nothing but items are nothing but an array. Inside this array, you will have an object where each one will have their own ID. Okay, name. If you see fake store API, some kind of APIs, you will get this kind of products and all. Okay, items one and comma. Some this is a JSON data, right? You will get a set of products. Okay, ID two, which is name, item two, and here ID three, which is name, item three, right? Now see, now what I can do, I can track the application. Now I can write it that fun application here, the fun application. Inside this fun, what I'm going to do is, okay, inside this fun, I'm going to take the values, sir. Okay. Now here, I'm going to write some simple logic. This fun will take index, comma, fun will take the index and fun will take the, uh, you know, fun will take the item, and inside it will return uh, which will return a number value, which is return item dot id. Each time whatever the id is there in this particular one, it will return, sir. Okay. Now here what it is saying it, here it is saying it's declared but value is never returned. Parameter has implicit any type. Index is having a number type, that is no arrays. Now item have any data type, that is what it is telling it. Now I can declare a new data type here. Okay. Now what I can write it here, I can write one new interface here. Okay. I will write one new interface. Sir, I think if you remember basic JavaScript, basic TypeScript, you will understand this. Basically, I'm just creating one value. ID value should be number, and uh, name value should be string. Yeah, I just created one interface, sir. You should not write these interfaces in the classes. You can write it outside. I will write it here. Outside the directive of component. So one item is there. Now items are nothing but item array. Each one data type I'm giving it. Okay. And this item is nothing but of type item. That's it. Now inside this item you will have ID, and that is what it will return, and based on the what is returning it will track the application. Okay. Now if you go and see it here, it will print it here. Now it is printing element is object. Okay, because it is not having it, because it is here each item is object. Okay, each item is object there. Earlier it is just a value, so it is printing its index and all. Now sir, where is this track by? Is it doing anything? Yes, it is actually doing the things. Okay, you can't see it, but it will improve your application performance. Okay, when you are increasing more and more items also, still it will maintain your applications more quickly. Okay. Now if I write it here, ng, now see, it loaded fastly than the previous one. Okay. Now here how many elements got changed and not changed, you will get it. Okay, now if you change it id, then only it will load it. Okay, else it won't load it. You got my point? Okay, so that is called track by things. Okay, track by application, sir. Now how do you do that, sir? You know, this interface and all are okay, but only the thing is you have to remember track by will take one function, sir, not a normal variable. And that function, whatever it returns, usually function returns a unique value, and based on that only it will take. Okay, now next one, not but not list. Okay, this is track by code component dot html and component dot ts. Now in the component dot ts, what is there? Go here, just writing it, this, this, these two, and at the same time some interface also. Okay, in case if you get doubts anytime, you can go to the github and you can check the actual code also. Okay, that way you will get the actual things also, when you are practicing. Okay, now this is what we discussed. Now last but not least, nested for. Sir, for loop also will have something called nested for. Now what is it mean by nested for, sir? A for inside of another for. Okay, a for inside and another for. Okay, I think for some people whoever not having the github link still, sir, I think in the initial classes only I gave you the github link. Okay, you can after this class I will give you one more time the github link also, sir. You can have it. Just wait, after the class I will give you github one more time. I will share it everyone. Now here ng for, that means I want one for inside and another for. Okay, you can put one for loop inside and another for loop, sir. That is called nested for loop, sir. Now let's write it. How do you do that? So simple, same like how you did the previous one. Now here you can write it here, one for loop inside this. If I want, okay, if I want, you can put an another ng for. Okay, and another for div, uh, you can write it here again, ng for, and you can write whatever the conditions you like. Now what will happen here if I write let I of items dot keys. Okay, now not item dot keys. Now if I write it here, object dot keys of items, or earlier how you did, we can write it here, I of items key value, key pipe symbol, key value. Now if I write it here again and again, it will print it. Okay, now here if I write it here something like I dot key. Okay, now if you go here, it will print it only the keys. Okay, and that's how it basically works. Okay, now or here value object. So each one stored it as index. Based on the index values, it is storing it. Okay. Now now you can write like one for inside and another for, sir. This is basically complete ng for, sir. Complete ng for. Okay. A for inside another for. These are structural directives till now. Then next, property directives. Sir, already we have seen property directives, you know. Okay. Now I will tell you what are property directives. You will remember it. Property directives are two. One is ng class and another one is ng style. Did you remember, sir, ng class and ng style? We discussed them in the property with data binding. Did you remember in class binding, the class binding, style binding? I told them. Did you remember them? Did you guys remember the ng class and ng style, sir? How they work? Like ng class will add dynamically class to the application. Ng style will dynamically add the style to the application. Okay. Now, not two-way data binding, it's one way only. It will add the class data binding. Okay. Okay. For example, I will use the ng style and ng class in one line only. In one line only, I will use both. Now, if I go here for this application, for this main, instead of writing it here directly main, I will write it here. Here I will write it here. Something like ng class equals to, okay. And I will check one application. I will check one basic logic here. Okay. I will check one basic logic here. I can write it here. Main, multiple classes I'm giving it. Main, M. Okay. Now, good, G. No, something is wrong. Yeah, now it's right. Now, what is this M and G? Now, I will take two variables here, M true and G true. I have one value M, I have one value G, which is true and true. Now, if you go here, now in the DOM, what will happen, sir? Now, in the DOM, what will happen? If you see this a div, for this div, you will have two classes. Okay, you will have the class name. If you see here, what are the class names? It got a class name main and good. It have the class names main and good. Did I say it main and good are the class names? No, I said it main class name is M. Okay, that means based on a condition, if M is true, main class is added to the ng class. If M is false, main class will not be added. And in CSS, I can make it a manipulative. In CSS, I will give main class means this color, that color. It will be automatically applicable. That's what we discussed. Okay. If, for example, if dynamically, if I go here and if we make it M value false. Now, if you see for this particular element, main won't be there. There is no main now. See, go and see it here. If you see it here, approved inside this main div. Now, if you see only class is good. For this div, only class is good. Why only good, sir? Because only good is there, sir. Okay. Good is G and that is true. So you can add 100 classes, each class with a condition. Only if the condition is true, in that cases only it will become. Now dark and light modes you can apply like that. Okay. If someone clicked on it, if the dark mode is there, light mode is there, what you want, you can make it like that. That is ng class. Same thing, sir. You can do it with ng style also. I am applying for the same thing ng style also. Ng style. I want to apply some property like color. Okay, I will write it here directly. Color. Okay, some kind of text color. Color property is X. Okay, and some kind of background color. Color Y. That's it. Now, if I go here and I will write it here instead of true or false, you should not write true or false here. You should write it some kind of values. X value is red, Y value is sorry, quotation marks red, and Y value is blue. Yeah, I'm just giving some random things. Now, what will happen dynamically? Dynamically, X value will be so color value will become red and background color will become blue. Now, something semicolon expected. TS 1411 where the semicolon they are expecting this. You don't need to save semicolon basically. Now see, red color and background blue color is coming automatically. Did I give them directly? No, I gave them from the DOM, from the component. Dynamically, I gave the values. Okay. Okay. Now I may write it directly red, but what if I do in future fetching options? See, here it will automatically come to style equals to color red, background color blue. I did not give color red. I gave color X and that value taken from the component. That is why we discussed these things in the data binding concept. But these are also structural directives. These are also property directives. These are also directives only. Basically, directives are the ones which are used to manipulate the DOM. By default, they are there. Okay. So these are also used. So ng class, what it will do? Ng class dynamically updates the class value class based classes based on value received by component received from component. I think received from component. Now same thing will happen it for ng style also. Ng style also dynamically updates updates the styles based on values received from values received from okay from component. If you are having multiple classes concept, multiple style concept only, you will use usually this, sir. If you are using only one single one, then you will do it normally only, normal class, normal style only. Okay. Now here I can take this line, I can use write it here. Okay. Any doubts, sir, here? Any doubts in this, sir? NG style, because we already discussed this NG style and all NG class we already discussed. I just made it a quickly. Any doubts, sir, here? Any doubts, ma? Anyone? Yeah, I hope not. Now, last but not least, custom directives. Custom directives. Sir, I'm just explaining one more time the property directives, sir. Okay, as someone asked. See, the property directives means here when you want to give multiple classes. For example, if you want to give only one class, you can write directly class equals to something. But if you want to give multiple classes and you want to give them dynamically based on the value, then how do you write it here? Ng class directive. This is one directive, sir. When you write it here, you can write it in a key value pair. Key value pair. What is the key value pair? Here, first key is class name. Value is the dynamically value from the DOM, from the component. If component m value is false, if m value is false, then it will remove it automatically. Okay, by default it will remove it. If m value is true, then it will keep it. If m value is true, it will keep it, sir. It will write it. If m value is true, what it will write? Imagine if both values are true, it will write class equals to main and good. If m value is false, it will write it only good. If g value is also false, then it will write only this. Okay, so based on the true false values of m and g, it will do it, sir. Okay, now someone is getting confused with ng for and for loop. I There is no difference here. The only point is ng for you will use it for the template in the html. For loop you will use it in the component. You can use, see, sir, in TypeScript, in Angular, you can use for loop in the component also, sir. Okay, but that is normal now. We already know this. This is a new concept. That's why we are teaching it. Okay, ng for we will use it in template. Normal for loop you will use it in component, but both are used for same purpose and same concept. Okay, now property binding, what you will do, this class or ng style both will have some key value pairs, sir, where key will be connected to the value and the value can be from the component file you will get this value. Okay, is it clear ma till now? Is it clear ma till now? Till now any doubts? Okay, now let's do one more thing, which is custom directive. After custom directive we will have a quick revision, no worries. Okay, now custom directives means our own directives. Now see, till now ng if is there, ng for is there, ng switch is there, or ng class is there, or ng style is there. Did we create them? No. What if I want something like, see, I want something ng prasad. Will it be there in Angular? No. But I want to create my own directive and I wanted to tell how to do. If I give NJ Prasad, what will happen and all the things. So my own way of manipulating the DOM I want to create, and that is called custom creative. Custom directive. Okay, custom directives means, okay, these are directives created by users. Okay, so how we will create user defined ones. Now how you will create it, sir? Now you can, I will try to create it using command and I will try to create it using normal also, sir. You can use it normal also. You have ng generate directive also. Now I will write it. If you write it here, command prompt cd angular structure for Sorry, ng generate, sir. You don't need to write generate every time, sir. If you write g also, it is generate only. Okay, ng if you write it also, no worries. For component, same thing here. Ng generate directive. Okay, and the directives, I'm writing it one directive name. Okay, directive name Prasad, and I am giving it which one you wanted, for which project. Project equals to structure for. If you see it here, it created two files. Okay, see, it created prasad.directive.ts. Can you see it here? See, it is saying it. I created prasad.directive.ts, and I updated in the app module also. That's what it is saying it. Now let's see how it created. If you see in the src folder, in the app folder only, everything will happen. Here, if you see one directive file is created, can you see this? See, this is what it is created. It only created. And what is its name? App Prasad. That means if someone writed this App Prasad, automatically that directive will come. And what this directive has to do, no one knows. I will write it. I have to write it. Now, if you see in the module file, okay, for this Prasad directive, something spec file also will created also automatically. Spec file is used for the testing. Okay, I'm deleting it. No worries. Now here, you can write it one spec file. The spec file is not necessary directly, and you will have one selector also, sir. This selector defines kind of, if you can get some css selector also for that. Okay, and that selector you will define in the div. I will tell you how to do that anyway. Now see, in the module also, along with components, it mentioned the directive also. See, along the component, it also mentioned the directives. What new directives are there? Sir, did I mention ng class? No. Did I mention ng for? No. Did I mention ng style? No. Because they are default ones. But you are creating this. Okay. So you have to mention it here. Any doubts, ma? Sir, any doubts in that what I created? Sir, any doubts there? Sir, is it clear, sir? How do you create it now? Okay. Once again, I'm just deleting this. Prasad and everything deleted. Now let me write it here this time. Now again, ng generate d, automatically it will be generate directive only, sir. If you write gd also, no worries. Okay, but anyway, I'm writing it first time na? Generate directive, and the directive name you can write it whatever you like it. Okay, now my dir, I'm giving my dir. Okay, and then which project you want it to be, because we are having in workspace, sir. In real time you don't need to write that, because you will be inside the project only. Okay, here you have so many projects, so for which project you want to create, I have to give structure for in that particular folder. Create it here. That's what it will create. And it created, it added also, my dear. See, if you see, this is a spec file, I don't need. And if you go here, this is what it created. And inside this, I will write it inside this constructor. Okay, I can return whatever I like it, sir. Okay, if I return something, okay, whatever you return here, and those values will be given there. Okay, now here, if I do some kind of simple logic, hmm, how can I take it here? Simply, let's go to my component file. Here I'm just creating one div. Inside this, I am using custom directive. just focus here somewhat little bit uh depth it I will go. Okay, but you will understand it, I'm 100% sure, no worries. Here I am applying directive. And what is the directive selective, sir? Here app mider, copy it, app mider, and I'm writing this app mider here. Okay, you will write it here, some logic here, app mider. Okay, the moment you write it, sir, the moment you write it, what will happen, this this div will check this appder. Okay, and whenever it is checking this appder, it will think it like what is happening in the appder. Did I put anything in the appder, sir? No. Did I put anything? No, not at all. Now I will take this element first. This appder should take this element, whatever you connected that element, it should take it, right? Okay, so now now what I will write it here, I will just write it here. What you can write it in the constructor will take it some values. Constructor will take it like public el. Okay, you don't need to write public or privated. If you write it basically el, it is public only. El means I'm taking one element, sir, here. Okay, element ref, element element ref is a data type. Okay, it is a reference data type. Element ref means it is in a reference one, that's what it will tell you. Okay, now what is the error here? Generic element ref requires one type arguments. Okay, now constructor will take element referencer, and at the same time it needs to have something called renderer. Okay, there is one thing called rendering. Okay, customly rendering, to render the elements customly, we will use something called a renderer also, sir. Rn, you can name it anything, but it is of data type renderer. Renderer 2, this is a basic thing. Sir, what are these things, sir? Let me teach you. So basically, what these things will do, this renderer will render on the screen. It will help you. It will help you now every time. If you see, every time whenever you are doing NG class or NG style, automatically on the DOM it is changing, na? Right or not? If you write it NG class or NG style or NG, if NG is for, it is updating the DOM directly, right? You know who is updating them? The updating one is renderer. The renderer is doing it. Now, why this EL, sir? EL means, why I am taking EL is, this div is selecting this particular one. I am selecting. Whenever I write the app my app directory, my dear directory should take this div, right? Should take this particular element. Na? To take the element, I write it something called EL. I want to store that element EL. And whenever you are taking HTML elements, you will store that in data type called element ref. That is a data type. Okay, it's like by default written in the Angular. Okay, now what I will do is I will write it here, this dot rn. Rn means rendering. Okay, this dot rn, which is rendering. uh Make some set style. I'm setting some style. Okay, don't worry, we are just doing it some couple of things. Okay, now here this dot el, inside the el, whatever the element is there, native element, for its native element, color, color is blue. So automatically whatever the element got selected, for that element I wanted the color to be blue. Okay, blue. Now let's see where we are doing mistakes, we will just discuss it. Okay, Element ref I wrote. This is perfector only, constructor only. About private. No, if I write private or public, it doesn't matter. Why it is saying it Rn is not Rn does not property exist on the ENA? Is existed na? Rn dot set style. This dot EL. Only the thing EL, why it is not taking it? Okay. EL and no suitable injection token parameter for my dir directive. The name is app my dir and I put the my dir directive also here. The class my dir is listed in the declarations of ng module, but it is not a directive. Okay. It is a directive na? Okay, first thing it is not taking this directive. Why? We are having it as directives. Appropriate angular decorator. The name is exactly same. Now here whatever see here my dear directive is there na, it should be exactly this name. Exactly the class name. It should be. Just a minute. Now see it is taking it. So in the constructor it is having the problem. So that EL only it is not taking it. That is element ref only. Okay, okay. See, element ref it is taking from React. Okay, very good. That is what concerns me. So I have React also in my code. So that is why it is coming with React. Now Angular core. Now everything is perfect. So it should take it from Angular only. No? So suddenly the React came. That is what troubling it. Okay. Now, okay. Now let's go here. Now automatically my div turned into blue. No, no, not this. Now automatically my div color turned into blue. Can you see I am using custom directive? Can you see this ma? Now if anyone in this code, anyone uses, if for example, if this uses automatically, if this div uses, if this div uses my directive, app my dir, automatically this div also will become blue color. See, that div is also getting blue color. Here what is happening here, first this div is selected here as el. What is the data type of el? Element reference, because it is a element reference. Inside that el, inside the native element it will store, sir, always remember, inside the native element only it will store. If you write it here, console dot log, check it always, console.log el. If you want you can print it, then you will get it. What is the el? Rn means rendering. Okay, that means this rendering can set the style, this rendering can set the class, this rendering can set the elements. Okay, add the elements, delete the elements, everything in the DOM it can do. Now this is I am using it to set style. For what element you want to set style? Color. What property you want to set? Color. And what you want in that color also? Blue. Everything. And you can give dynamical values also inside this. Here I'm giving color this. You can give dynamical values also. You can take it from. Now, if you see in the console, if you print it, element reference is printed. Now see inside the element reference, inside the native element, the div is there, right or not? Whatever the div selected, it is inside the native element. Now that is why that element, native element, inside the native element only I selected. And then what a property you want to change? Color property. And what value you wanted to change for? Blue. And that is whole thing is rendered. And then on the screen you will see, if you see it on the screen in the DOM, here see in the DOM, you see down, see, for every element you will get some kind of div style color equals to blue, set color equals style color equals to blue, style color equals to blue, style color equals to blue. Did I give style color equal to blue there? No, I gave it dynamically. I gave it dynamically using my own custom. Okay, MIDIR, there is no directive named MIDIR. I created it. Okay, how to generate your own directive? Ng generate directive. Is it clear, ma? Everyone, is it clear, sir? Color is a property. How can I say that it is a property or not? Are seriously, Anil Kumar, it's like CSS property. It is a color property in CSS. You will have na. Okay, it will understand whatever the properties for styles. Okay, for one person who asked track by one more time. Okay, so track by means it will take one function, sir. Track by, what it will do, it will take one function, and where whatever the function returns every time a unique value. If the function is returning every time, for example in this code, function is every time returning that item's ID. So every time based on what it returns, it will track the application. Why it is needed? I want to improve the performance of my application. Imagine your application is having 10 items and another 10 items added. Iterator, what it will do, it will again start from first to 20. Total 20 items it will do. If again another one added 30 items, then instead of doing only that 30, it will do whole 50. So then performance may be less. To increase that performance, first it has to know what is existed and what is not existed. How do you check them? So you will track them by some unique values, and that unique values are provided in one function, and that is added here by something called track by. It is an optional value. Okay, you don't need to put it here every time. It is something optional. Okay, yeah. In this also here, Anil, see here, set style property will take it automatically. Set style will take it automatically here, some value, and this value here you can take it anything. But sir, what if I give it anything? Will it work, sir? No. See, go here. Now see, anything worked? No. But if you see it here, if you see it here, down. Now see, anything is there? Nothing. Because what, only if it is understand, only if it understand this value here, color or font size. Okay, or some kind of background color. How you will give it in DOM? How you do it in DOM manipulation in your JavaScript also you will do na set style. Same thing in DOM. Whatever JavaScript set style is there, same thing here also. Now see, now background color blue came. For them also that property background color blue will come. If you see it here, it will show here style background color equals to blue. And that's what the DOM manipulation will happen basically. Any property you give. Okay. Clear, ma? Okay. So I will, the notes all will be shared in the drive, and I will update the GitHub also. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, someone asked GitHub link. Just a minute. For the people who don't have still my GitHub link, sir, I'm just giving